am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul.
Welcome back. I am Reverend Rhona Segarra, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service at Unity of New Westminster in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Whether you are watching us live on Zoom or on Facebook or on YouTube, or whether you are finding us on demand after the service, it is my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of all of us here. We would love to stay connected with you. So please subscribe to our newsletter on our website, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, or join our Facebook group. And that way you will be notified anytime we have a service. We are so glad that you are part of our experience today. The Unity Movement offers ideas for full and abundant living. We draw on the teachings of Jesus, who we consider our primary way shower and example. And we honor that there is wisdom in faith traditions all over the world. We respect every person's right to choose their own spiritual path, their own life path. All are welcome here. All are worthy here. All are celebrated here. We open our service today in prayer. I gratefully acknowledge that I speak to you on the traditional and unceded territory of the Semiahmoo First Nation. And we give thanks to First Nation peoples everywhere for their custody of this beautiful land. We give thanks for our connection one with each other. That connection that happens whether we are in each other's physical presence or not. That connection that binds us all together. We acknowledge that there is only one presence, that there is only one power, that power that is understood by many names, many faces, and many paths. And we affirm that regardless of the name, the face, or the path of our understanding, that we are one human family. And it is in that knowledge of our oneness that we send a blessing for love, for peace, for contentment to every being on this planet, to every being, regardless of all the labels that threaten to divide us. We are one. And for this knowledge, for this intention, and for the power that we have to bless, we give thanks. Amen. It had been a wonderful afternoon. The family had enjoyed a picnic at Elgin Park, and then after sunset, we decided that it was such a lovely evening that none of us were ready for the day to end yet. And so we decided to finish our day with dessert at Dairy Queen. I took everyone's order, and then while they went to get a table outside, I did the ordering. And while in line, I had this brilliant idea. I had an app. Sometimes the app has specials. And sure enough, there was a special offer for a banana split. On the spot, I decided to change someone's order and surprise them with this banana split. Well, they were surprised. They went, when I brought that out, they said, I was expecting a chocolate sundae. They went on to say it was fine, but I realized that I hadn't given them what they had asked for. And with that realization, I became quite upset. And while the group continued to have a good time, at some level, they recognized that I was upset, and that diminished their joy somewhat as well. It just so happened that earlier that same day, I had shared the 5 principles of unity with my sister Jill and told her that I had put it into song, that I had made this little song up to the tune of Happy Birthday, and I had sung it to her. If you recall, or you may not know, the 5 principles of unity are that there is only one power. That's principle number 1. That as such, there is no spot that God is not, including us. So principle number 2 is that we are all expressions of God. There is no place that God is not. And therefore, we are all interconnected with each other. What happens with one affects all. What happens with all affects one. And we are all part of God. That's principle number 2. Principle number 3 is that we form our experiences of life with the power of our thinking and the ideas that we have about life and about what the experiences are. That's principle 3. Principle 4 is that we take time in prayer and meditation to be still so that we restore ourselves, that we remind ourselves of principle number 1 and 2. And then principle number 5 is that we need to do more than just speak these principles, that we actually want to live them. And so I had created this little ditty that went like this. One universal power, a network of all ideas, create experiences. Take time to be still, you'll live in peace. And so I had shared that with her, and we had a little bit of a chuckle. Well, when she realized, because she was part of the group that day, that I was upset, she gently suggested that I consider going to that song and putting the principles into practice. What a novel idea. And so I did. And when I did, I recognized that I could see things in a different way. And that in my seeing things in a different way, I could allow myself to become more peaceful. And when I became more peaceful, everyone else was able to relax that much more. Everyone then had the freedom to enjoy themselves fully again. Of course, that was great. I learned something. And I couldn't stop thinking about this process of applying principle and putting it into practice. And what I recognized is what I had done was essentially apply the principles in reverse. So I started with recognizing that I wasn't feeling peaceful, moving into a time of thinking and considering what was happening for myself, recognizing what my thinking was, shifting my ideas, and creating a new way of looking at the experience that brought more peace. And I thought, we need to put this into a little song as well. And so I came up with verse 2, also sung to the tune of Happy Birthday. And it goes like this. When peace isn't there, take time to be still and question your thinking. What other idea can add more peace? And I know it is simple and it is powerful. It is powerful. Let's take a look at these steps one by one. So the first step is to recognize when we are not feeling peaceful. Remember that the fifth principle of unity is that we want to live the values which we believe. And so when we are in that place where we are not feeling peaceful, then that becomes an opportunity for us to put our principles into practice and see if we can move ourselves back to a place of peace. And to do that, the first thing we need to do is to recognize when peace isn't there. How do we do that? Well, for me, in that experience, it was a physical feeling in the pit of my stomach. Like I could feel the emotion of upset, of dismay, of disappointment. I could feel and almost see myself close down and withdraw from the group. Other times, and for some other people, lack of peace may show up as a desire to have a fight, to get into an argument. It may be that we want to defend ourselves, or we may want to run away, make ourselves seem more powerful, perhaps, or maybe less powerful. We may shut down, we may explode. We may become more judgmental, we may become more bossy, we may worry, we may become anxious about something. It could be that we find ourselves in a place where it's hard to sleep. Only you know what it is that might be an indicator for you about when you are not feeling peaceful. Typically, it will be some aspect of fight or flight or freeze, some aspect of worry, some aspect of needing to control, wanting closure, feeling hurt. When any of these indicators present, we can recognize that we are no longer in a place of peace. And so, when peace isn't there, take time to be still. Now, this is easier said than done, because what happens when we are in a place that isn't peaceful is that it's really, really hard to take time to be still. Daniel Goleman coined the phrase and the terminology of the amygdala hijack. And basically what he speaks about is the idea of not feeling peace happens when we are threatened. And when we feel threatened in some way, then our heart rates increase, our breathing is affected, our digestion is affected, oxygen moves from our brain to other parts of our body, and we literally are not able to think. We literally are not able to think. And in that place, when all of our autonomous functions in our body are not working properly, we cannot think and we do not function well. And the fastest way to restore ourselves to functioning is to breathe, is to focus on our heart and allow our heartbeat to remind the rest of our functions in our body to come back to normal. Our heart actually is a regulator for our body. And so when we breathe and bring our focus to our heart, we actually calm everything down. Now, it's not as if when I was going through this experience that it was by any means a life-threatening experience. However, the way out of any upset, whether it's extreme and truly life-threatening or upset as it was in this case, which was the case of the chocolate sundae, the way out of it is the same. And the way out of it is to take the time to be still, to take a breath, and to follow Jesus's advice in Matthew chapter 6, verse 6, when he suggests that when we pray that we go into our inner room. He says it this way: when you pray, go into your inner room, shut your door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. And your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Now note, when I say take time to be still, it's not like we actually have to go anywhere. It's not like the inner room needs to be a place, although it is certainly nice to be able to go on a retreat of some kind at times. but rather it is the inner room within ourselves. It is the place where we can retreat to and ask questions of ourselves, where we can calm ourselves down. And when we do that, when we allow ourselves to restore to functioning, then we are indeed rewarded, because we are open to insight and discovery, which leads to freedom. And so, when peace isn't there, we take time to be still. And then we move to the next step, which is to question our thinking. Once we are calm, we can actually become curious about what just happened and what the source of our upset was. Dr. Marshall Rosenberg, the founder of nonviolent communication, suggests that all of our feelings arise from met or unmet needs, met or unmet values that might be important to us. And so when we do feel upset, when peace isn't there, and we take time to be still, then this is where we can start asking ourselves the question, what value, what need has led to this emotion that I'm experiencing? In the curious case of the chocolate sundae, I recognized that I wanted to contribute, which is a core value for me. And I interpreted, I was expecting a chocolate sundae to mean, I don't value your contribution. And that leads to the second question as part of this question your thinking. And that is it true? At some level, I heard, I don't value your contribution. I don't value you. And is it true? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I know that that wasn't true. And so I could then take a step back and start questioning those assumptions that I had made. The trick is to separate fact from interpretation. I supplied the interpretation. All that was said is, I was expecting a chocolate sundae. There was nothing said about whether that was good, that was bad, that was fine. All of that I didn't even hear, because as soon as I heard those words, there was a comma, and I supplied the meaning. I supplied the meaning. Martha Creek, who is a friend of mine and who I often refer to in my talks, says, the suffering happens after the comma. The suffering happens after the comma. The anxiety happens after the comma. The fear happens after the comma. The anger, the anxiety, all of it, the rage, the naming, the blaming, the questioning, the worrying, all of it happens after the comma. Something happens, comma, and that means, and we place some kind of meaning in. And the question is often, A, is it true? And B, is it productive? Once we've questioned our thinking and we've questioned our, and that means, and questioned whether or not the interpretation is the only one, the interpretation that we've chosen, the after the comma, is that the only possible interpretation, or could there be something else? Could we create something that is more positive, more powerful, more empowering, and more productive to whatever the incident is that has happened in our life? That's the power of our thinking. And so when we can get to the point where we've questioned, where we've asked whether or not it's necessarily the only truth that there is, or whether there are some other alternatives, then we can free ourselves to choose a different idea. In the case of the chocolate sundae, I could choose to approach this whole experience differently. I could put my researcher hat on, if you will, and start questioning what other ideas I could come up with about what this meant that I was having this reaction. For example, I could have said, I could choose an idea that, you know what, from now on, I'm going to pay attention to what people actually ask for and do my best to give it to them rather than second guess their request. Or I could choose an idea that I could be grateful that someone was feeling safe enough that they would tell me the truth, that they were expecting something different from me than what I had delivered. Or I could choose to see that my upset was born out of love and a desire to contribute. And I need not get too hard on myself because I was upset because I had disappointed somebody. So, most importantly, I could choose to see that my hurt had nothing to do with the chocolate sundae. I could see this as an opportunity to retrain my brain and release some fears that I have around disappointing people. I will do almost anything to prevent people from feeling disappointed with me. And sometimes it is not necessary, and it's okay if they're disappointed. I could learn to be more free. With all of these different ideas, with each different ideas, I could be more free, and everybody else could be more free too. And so that's another idea. Choose another idea that can add more peace. Now, to be fair, this was, after all, the curious incident of the chocolate sundae. It's not exactly a life-altering event, but the principles are the same. The process is the same for every circumstance in our lives, whether it's a chocolate sundae or a difference of opinion, whether it's an uncomfortable diagnosis, whether it's an upset in a relationship or working with a different and difficult person. Something happens, we assign meanings. And some meanings may be true and may be valid. A person may have said something mean or may have behaved in a way that we didn't like. the diagnosis may indeed be very serious, but our freedom and our peace lies in the recognition that we, as Jesus said, can turn the other cheek. We can choose to demand of ourselves that we see it differently, to find another idea that brings more peace to us. And when we are in a place that is more peaceful, that we then are able to bring more peace to the other people who are in our orbit, who are in our relationship circle. And then when they touch our increased peace, they in turn, because we're interconnected, will be more peaceful. And so will the people that they are in relationship with. And so, your happy birthday song, the 5 principles of unity, and then how to put those principles into practice. One universal power, a network of all ideas lead to experiences. Take time to be still. You'll live in peace. When peace isn't there, take time to be still and question your thinking. What other idea can add more peace? Take your principles, put them into practice. Take time to be still. Look for other ideas. You will live more peacefully. I bless you.
I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy on myself. I will I will be easy on myself, and I love myself like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Now I know I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself, and I hold myself like a newborn baby child. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself, and I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I rock myself like a newborn baby child. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I love myself like a newborn baby child.
You are invited to join us on Mondays at 11 o'clock for our weekly prayer service. It is a time where we get together on Zoom and we connect with each other. We share how we are doing with each other. We move into a time of guided prayer. And we read the names of the people who are on our prayer list. And it is a time of renewal, of connection. It is a profound experience of recentering. And so I invite you to join us for that. And if you would like your name, or you know someone who you would like to have added to that prayer list, then please email us at unityofnewwestminster@gmail.com, and we'll be sure to have the person's name or your name added to our list. Mondays at 11. The annual Unity Canada Conference will be held on Zoom on Friday, October 22nd, Saturday, October 23rd, and Sunday, October 24th. The theme this year is Bridging the Divide, Living as Oneness. This content-rich program includes a Friday evening session from 5 till 7 p.m. Pacific time with my friend Reverend Dr. Martha Creek. On Saturday afternoon, Kiko Ojo-Thompson of the Kojo Institute will host a workshop called A Call to Action, Doing the Work for Racial Equity. This workshop explores the ways in which racism and other inequities play out in religious and faith-based institutions in Canada, despite our good intentions. This will be followed by a panel in which we explore this question: how can we equip ourselves and our ministries for Indigenous allyship for truth and reconciliation? The Kojo Institute specializes in inclusion and anti-racism training and has worked with many organizations, including the Toronto School Board, the RCMP, and the Ontario Association of Children's Aid Societies. The annual business meeting for Unity Canada, which will include the election of new officers and the financial report, will be held on Saturday morning, October 23rd. And on Sunday, my other friends, Reverend Ogun Holder and Reverend Kelly Isola, will host our first ever nationwide Sunday service on Zoom. On that day, our service here at Unity of New Westminster will begin early with 30 minutes of music beginning at 9:30 Pacific Time, and the service itself will begin at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. The Sunday service will be followed by a workshop on phygital ministry hosted by Kelly and Ogun. In this workshop, they will share information and insights about the reality of ministry today, ministry which includes both physical and digital aspects, both in person and online. The musician for the entire weekend is the amazing David Roth. One of his songs is May the Light of Love Be With You, which we have played periodically in the last year or so. Attendance at the annual business meeting on the Saturday morning and the Sunday service is completely free. The fee to attend the 3 workshop sessions on Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon is $80 if you register before September 30th and $100 after September 30th. All are welcome to attend. Invite your family and your friends for what is sure to be a richly inspiring and entertaining weekend. The Unity Canada Annual Conference, October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, with the theme Bridging the Divide, Living as Oneness. See you there. On Monday, October 4th, we will kick off our fall season for our writing group. Whether you are an accomplished writer, an emerging writer, or a writer in waiting, you are invited to join our group, which will meet Mondays on Zoom from noon until 1:30 Pacific Time. We will write, we will share our writing, we will read our writing, and we will learn more about writing. The group is fun, friendly, and supportive. If you want to develop your writing skills, and if you want an encouragement circle to help you to move your writing forward, then this is the group for you. It is led by Anne Rainbow, who lives in England and who joins us through the gift of technology. Participation is free of charge, and all are welcome. Our goal: write, write often, and enjoy writing. Mondays beginning October 4th from noon until 1:30 on Zoom. You are invited to join us for a study of the book The Eye of the Storm: Embracing Conflict, Creating Peace, written by Reverend Gary Simmons. The book study will be held on Zoom on Tuesdays for 8 weeks, beginning Tuesday, October the 12th and ending November 30th. The time will be from 7:30 until 9 o'clock in the evening. All are welcome and participation is free. Donations are always gratefully accepted. The book is available at bookstores, online at retailers such as Amazon, or in e-reader format. So please plan to join us Tuesdays beginning October the 12th at 7:30 for 8 weeks as we study and discuss The Eye of the Storm: Embracing Conflict, Creating Peace by Gary Simmons. You're invited to join us on the last Friday of every month on Zoom for an open mic and house party. If you have a song to sing, an instrument to play, a story to tell, or something you'd like to read, or a G-rated stand-up routine, this is your opportunity to take the stage. If the stage is not your thing, come and be part of the audience. We often chat and visit in between acts. The Zoom link is our regular link, which you'll find on our website and in the email newsletters that you receive. Please join us the last Friday of the month from 7 p.m. to 8:30. There are many ways to give to our ministry at Unity of New Westminster, and we are grateful for the financial support which we receive from regular as well as one-time donors. Your generosity helps us to support our ministry and continue to share inspiring ideas for full and abundant living. We also support organizations that serve people in our neighborhood, in our province, and in our nation. Donations can be made through Interac electronic transfer, credit card, check, or cash. Please give from your sense of appreciation and your feeling of abundance. And thank you for supporting Unity of New Westminster. I invite you now to hold whatever you feel blessed for in your hands, in your heart. Financial, family, roof over your head, food on the table, just whatever you are feeling blessed with as we sing our blessing song.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And we come to the end of another service. I thank you for joining us. I hope that you enjoyed your experience with us today. I wish you all a very, very blessed week. Goodbye, everybody.
And let it begin with me. Let there I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. We are the light of God. We are the love of God. We are the power of God. We are the presence of God.